downplaying our credit, or that it's not about us. That it's been strange for this last 6 months to receive so much joy and support and congratulations. But it's been a humbling experience, and I would like to thank all of you for showering me with such love and kindness over the past few months. When Monsignor Rick Hillgardner first notified me at the beginning of this year that this would be taking place, I was shocked and in disbelief about it. My first reaction was to say, this kind of recognition is given to people who will be retiring soon. I remember asking myself, how long have I been a pastoral musician? After looking back at my journey, I realized that I have been serving a parish as a full-time musician for 30 years now, not counting previous to that, I had served as a volunteer about another 7 years. So I was a bit more comfortable with the idea of coming up here to accept this great honor once I realized that I have been doing this for over 35 years. I felt old, but honored. My wife, Carrie, is sitting here alongside Nicholas and Benjamin. Daniel couldn't make it because it was his first week of his job and he couldn't get out. So we miss him. But my wife, Carrie, has been one of my best spiritual guides in my journey as a Catholic. One of the things that Carrie has taught me is to trust in the ways of God and to not be afraid to follow the path that God sets before us. She has also taught me to see how the hand of God touches everything we do, and that a larger picture forms after many years of trust. A picture that is not always clear when we are in the middle of a particular leg of that journey which God has laid out in front of us. This wisdom helps me appreciate this moment here with all my pastoral musician friends. I remember playing a bit of guitar in the school masses in El Salvador where I lived, and the opportunities were sporadic there, but it sparked an interest in playing music in the church. And it wasn't until I moved to Arizona to attend the School of Engineering at ASU that I started to think about who organizes this music and who writes it and who makes it up and who puts it in this. So as I pondered this question, there was a lovely man called Joe Berenger. He was a pastoral musician who was in the office of worship at the Diocese of Phoenix, and he saw my potential and recommended that I attended the first NPM of my life. My most vivid memory about my first NPM, which was in Long Beach, California in 1989, was to discover that there were literally thousands of people in the country who were pastoral musicians. I was not alone in this calling, and I was overwhelmed by the amount of people, the talent, and the joy that existed in this vocation. I also remember seeing from afar how much work it took to organize such an event and how important was to have a gathering of musicians of the Catholic Church. So my sincere thanks to Father Virgil Funk, Michael McMahon, and now Monsignor Rick Hillgardner and all the national and local executive board of NPM for accepting the challenge of providing us a convention so we may gather and grow together as pastoral musicians. I love being a pastoral musician. In a special way, I have loved being a helper in the journey of faith in my communities in Arizona through the sung prayers which I have provided and that we have sung every Sunday in order to help us all become closer to God. I have strived to achieve a deep connection and a relationship of trust with the members of my parish as I help them praise and give thanks to God through sung prayer. I have been present to provide sung prayer and liturgical song for many baptisms, quinceañeras, weddings, funerals at my parish. I have considered it a privilege to be part of this crucial and intimate moment in their lives, in the lives of all my parishioners, and I have never taken those moments lightly. Each moment as a pastoral musician has been important to me as well. As I pondered about my own journey as a pastoral musician, I realized that I didn't get here alone. I am part of a fabric of dedicated people who love God and who have decided to share their art, their skill, and their lives so the entire Catholic community may worship God and become closer to God in their own lives. My parents are present here, Jaime and Beatriz, as Lena mentioned. Yes. You heard this story. I just want to say thank you to Mami y Papi. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for not freaking out when I wanted to switch majors. They actually took it very well, and the only thing they said to me is, if you're going to be a musician, please go to school, please get a degree, please graduate, After that, you can join the circus if you want to. So, thank you for that. My family is here. My wife, Carrie, and 2 of our 3 boys are here. Daniel, Nicholas, and Benjamin and Carrie are the brightest lights of my life. Nobody has supported me more nor has blessed me more in my journey as a pastoral musician than Carrie and the boys. For those of you who don't know, I met Carrie as I began my first position in director of music in a parish in Arizona. And Carrie and I have served as pastoral musicians since the day we met. We continue to do it now, and we have loved serving our community through music ministry. Our family serves every Sunday at the 4 p.m. Mass at Holy Cross Church, and we have done this faithfully and joyfully for 8 years now. Most of you know that there are some heavy sacrifices in the life of a pastoral musician. To give you a small example, I have never seen my children on Christmas Eve. I hear that as children, they had traditions before going to bed, which involved song and dance and cookies and carrot sticks. Yet my responsibilities as a church musician have not allowed me to share those moments with them in person. I am also the person who falls asleep on the mashed potatoes during Easter Sunday meal. I'm sure you are too, right? Am I right? Because I have been up late at night and getting up way too early for the sunrise mass to play music during Holy Week. Carrie and the boys have always been very supportive of my vocation, and now as young adults, they have joined me in the music ministry, and we gratefully and joyfully serve the church every year at these high times and also every Sunday. I want to deeply thank Carrie, Daniel, Nicholas, and Benjamin for their love, their support for me, and as pastoral musician, and I love you very much. Thank you. My fabric, my tapestry also contains mentor friends. I would like to especially mention Rory Cooney, Gary Daigle, and Marty Hogan. These are pastoral musicians who took the time to show me new possibilities and to put me in situations that would result in a growth in my skills as pastoral musician and would allow me to foster partnerships which would result in music that helped people of different cultures worship together. Their love of the liturgy and their love of art and humanity inspired me always as a pastoral musician, and I would like to thank them for their partnership and friendship. Also, everything I just said applies also to the person I'm about to mention. With these mentors, or within these mentors, there is one person who I would like to single out because not only he took me under his wing to show me the importance of scripture in the liturgy and how we can help our communities in church to get to know the Word of God through accessible music, but he also opened his heart and offered me one of the most important treasures, his friendship and his example of his life. And that person is Bob Hurd. Thank you, Bob, for helping me to become a better pastoral musician and a better human being. Here is an artist who showed me that music can bring cultures together and that we can become enriched by learning about and sharing different cultures with the world. Bob and I have served as pastoral musicians throughout the country, and we have made wonderful memories that I will keep forever. This tapestry also includes partners. Also, along with my mentors, there are colleagues who have always inspired me, such as Brother Rufino Zaragoza, Father Ricky Manalo, Tom Kensia, Paul Inwood, the St. Louis Jesuits, Marty Hogan, Michael Juncas, David Haas, Frank Jansen and Valimar Jansen, Tom Booth, Stephen Petronak, Rick Modlin, John Flaherty, Curtis Stephen, John Angadi, Tom Tomasek, Jeffrey Honore, Steve Warner, Bill Gokelman, and truly many others. All these pastoral musicians showed a love of God and a passion for their faith by exploring new possibilities in liturgy and liturgical music. Their love for teaching our faith and their example as musicians have always made me want to learn more about the craft of pastoral music, and I truly thank them for it. In this tapestry, there is also a group of pastoral musicians who have inspired me and helped me to serve the Hispanic community of our nation and beyond. All of them have developed their art and their skill to showcase the contributions that the Hispanic community have to offer to the Church of the United States. Thank you very much, Rudy Lopez, Stella Garcia Lopez, Anna Betancourt, who is not here today, for being outstanding partners in this journey. but also for becoming close friends of mine who have always been here to show me support and love. We have sung, we have laughed, cried, and dreamed together as Hispanic pastoral musicians over 20 years. In addition to Rudy, Stella, and Ana, I have partnered for many years with Peter Collar, Eleazar Cortez, Mary Frances Reza, Lourdes Montgomery, Pedro Rubalcaba, Santiago Fernandez, Damaris Tiet, and her late husband, Diego Correa Magazo, who I miss dearly. Alberto Copo, Dolores Martinez, Pablo Ocaña, Silva Cuellar, and others. We have been able to serve as pastoral musicians on a national level, and it has been a wonderful partnership in which we have shared the Latino culture in the church, and we have experienced an enrichment of our personal lives as we have shared cultural traditions and music and faith with different parishes and national conferences throughout our nation. I would also like to mention and to thank John Lim, Eric Schumach, Lori Krupp, and the entire OCP family. Their commitment to pastoral music ministry is unparalleled, and their support and their encouragement have allowed me to become a better pastoral musician. Thank you for your friendship, your encouragement, and also for the lovely tribute last night too. Thank you very much for that. Thank you to my pastor at Holy Cross Church in Mesa, Arizona, Father Larry Murta, who is actually from Brownsville, Texas, and he is here present to support me, so thank you. There are priests who were very important in my faith formation and who believe in the spirit of Vatican II Council. Thank you to Father Luis Maria Ormachea, Father Tom Kraft, Monsignor Ray East, Father Richard Felt, for recognizing the potential in me and for laboring next to me to minister the faithful in our liturgies. My dear colleagues and friends, as pastoral musicians, we are all growing to perfect our skills to help the people of God worship and give thanks and to continue the mission that Christ gave to the disciples so that the whole world has access to the glory of God. The document Sing to the Lord states in Article 9, charity, justice, and evangelization are thus the normal consequences of liturgical celebration, particularly inspired by sung participation. The body of the Word incarnate goes forth to spread the gospel with full force and compassion. This truly articulates how important the work of the pastoral musician is. I consider it a privilege to serve as a pastoral musician. I am honored that NPM chose me this year as the Pastoral Musician of the Year. This award belongs to all of us. I am here because you have walked by my side in this journey of faith. Your input, your support, your encouragement, and your friendship are irreplaceable. They're priceless. Every one of you in the different styles, different instruments, different languages, different abilities, different upbringing, and different forms of education matter in this tapestry of the personal musician of the church. Our common threads are love, which is to say God, peace, and unity through diversity. We are all working toward the best relationship with our parishioners, looking for that melody that can engage all of our community in song, giving thanks and praise and calling us to be the hands and the eyes and the feet of Christ, so that, to remember what Father Michael Jonka said yesterday morning, God may be all in all. I love being a pastoral musician. I love the fact that it is important work, and thanks to the writings of people like Father Eugene Walsh, Father John Shea, Dr. Elaine Rendler McQueenie, I learned to see the sacredness of every rehearsal, every song, every greeting to my community, every psalm proclaimed in song, every guitar chord. In the words of Blessed Oscar Romero, qué hermoso sería el día en que cada bautizado comprenda que su profesión, su trabajo, es un trabajo sacerdotal, que así como yo voy a celebrar la misa en este altar, cada carpintero celebra su misa en su banco de carpintería. Cada hojalatero, cada profesional, cada médico con su bisturí, la señora del mercado en su puesto, está haciendo oficio sacerdotal. ¿Cuántos motoristas sé que escuchan esta palabra allá en sus taxis? Pero tú, querido motorista, junto a tu volante, eres un sacerdote si trabajas con honradez, consagrando a Dios tu taxi, llevando un mensaje de paz y de amor a tus clientes que van en tu carro. How beautiful will be the day in which all who are baptized will comprehend that their profession, Their job is a priestly ministry. Just as I am going to celebrate Mass at this altar, each carpenter celebrates his Mass on his carpentry bench. Each sheet metal worker, each professional, each physician with his surgical knife. The lady at the market in her market cubicle is doing priestly work. How many, the cab drivers, I'm sure, listen to these homilies in their taxi cabs. You, beloved cabbie, with your steering wheel, you are a priest if you labor with honesty. Your taxi cab consecrating God, bringing the message of peace and of love to your customers riding your car. As a pastoral musician, I want to become better at what I do. I want to remain open to suggestions, and I want to learn new things. I encourage NPM to continue this annual gathering so that all of us, but especially the new generations, can continue learning and honing their skills as musicians of the church. As I said before, I love being a pastoral musician. I also know that just as it is with our instruments, we will continue learning forever. There are so many things that I have yet to learn. I will close with this quote that is attributed to Beethoven. Who knows if that's true, but it's lovely and it inspires me. The real artist has no pride. Unfortunately, he sees that his art has no limits. He feels obscurely how far he is from the goal. While he is perhaps being admired by others, he mourns the fact that he has not yet reached the point to which his better genius, like a distant sun, ever beckons to him. I truly thank you. Muchas gracias. Thank you.